Hello and welcome to this review of Hood Limited Edition Golden Egg Nog Ultra Pasteurized. They said on the website that it's been on the market over 50 years. The company Hood, H.P. Hood, was founded by Mr. H.P. Hood, Harvey P. Hood, in 1846. And they're in Lynnfield, Massachusetts. So this is coming from Massachusetts all the way to Louisiana. They also had their pumpkin spice eggnog. But I figured I'd go with their standard one. It's certified kosher, and it uses sugar, high fructose corn syrup. It's golden because of food coloring, yellow number 5, yellow number 6, and red number 40. Contains milk and eggs. It's got natural and artificial flavors. It's also got, besides regular milk, it has fat-free milk. Don't know what good that would do you. And some other things. It says should be best within 14 days of opening. Well, it's not going to last 14 days for me, not this little quart. Alright, so I've never had Hood until this very day here. Not familiar with the products. We get Klein Peter eggnog around here. These are all non-alcohol. You know, you got to add your own rum or brandy or a blended whiskey, bourbon, whatever you want to add. It's a chilly, damp, overcast day. So that's just what the weather is. We get Southern Comfort eggnog, different types. One is like with mint, one is regular, one is something else. There's 3 different types. I've never tried those. I've actually never really tried. There's Borden eggnog we get also, yes. I just never tried these. I get the pre-mixed, the ones from like Evan Williams or Zachariah Harris, or the most famous one, the Pennsylvania Dutch. You're going to have the perfect ratio, you know. I like to drink them cold, but as a child I remember going to Christmas parties and the eggnog, you'd get the little cups and people put cinnamon or nutmeg on them and they were always warm. Which is fine too, but I'm not going to do that. So I got Stillhouse, America's Finest, you know, everything's the finest. Black Bourbon, masterful blend of corn, rye, and barley, and limestone water. This is Tennessee bourbon, mellowed in coffee beans. Okay, so it's going to have a coffee flavor after letting it soak in coffee, or let coffee beans soak in it. 80 proof, 40% alcohol. Stillhouse Spirits Company, Columbia, Tennessee. So we'll put a little bit of that in there. Then I'll, doesn't smell like much. Maybe a little, you know, bourbon, corn whiskey. Bourbon is mostly corn. Bourbon has to be a majority corn whiskey. They can add rye. They can add barley malt. They can add wheat. A combination of all those, or just one of those, or none of those. As long as it's 51% or higher corn content and it's aged in new charred oak barrels, then it's bourbon. Okay, and it's at least 40% alcohol. All right, tastes fine. It's not elaborate. It's good. 8.5 out of 10. It's a good product, but nothing amazing. I like the little coffee touch that's added to it with the coffee bean treatment. So you could expect egginess here. Now a lot of people they hear eggs and cream together and eggnog, they don't want to try it, but it's really good. Yeah, it smells a little creamy, a little eggy. Golden from food coloring. Oh, there we go with the compressed air. He usually never starts that before 6 a.m. and doesn't typically go past 11 p.m. every day of the year. It's a little thin-bodied, but I was saying that about the recent Pennsylvania Dutch I tried. A little thin. seem like they've been thinned out. I don't know. Is it inflation? What is it? Egg prices did go up. I mean, this last year when I tried the eggnogs, Evan Williams, and the bourbon creams, which is similar, they don't use eggs. The Pennsylvania Dutch variants, they seem a little thin. This one seems a little thin, but maybe it's just my mind thinking it should be thicker and it's not. But my memory is that they were thicker, but could be a delusion. They say on their website that this has been around for over 50 years. The company, since 1846, this particular eggnog, over 50 years, so you figure early 1970s. A little eggy, more eggy than cream. There's cream. The sweetness is low, so they didn't go buck wild on the sweetness. The spice level is very low, so it's just a touch of sweetness, a touch of spice. A lot of eggs, think along the lines of like scrambled eggs with no salt. And the bourbon blends very well with it. I guess if I was doing a proper eggnog like these pre-mixed, then I would use a blended whiskey, a rum, and a brandy, which I have all three of those, but I guess you could say I took a shortcut. Ground cinnamon. Gonna add a little spice character to it. So what am I gonna do? What I'm gonna do with the rest of this eggnog? Very simply, I'm gonna put it in coffee every morning. Put a little bit at the bottom. Pour the coffee on top. You got it. Won't make a particularly sweet cup of coffee because this is not terribly sweet. Just a little touch of it. Yeah, I can remember I'm pretty sure it was the Evan Williams that was coming out very thick, almost like an Elmer's glue. I know that was thick. Now I don't know if they had a lot of like those food product gums like guar gum and xanthium gum to it. Xanthan gum, whatever, something like that. If you read the Tax and Trade Bureau website, United States government, they regulate beer, wine, and liquor. They have a section on eggnog, believe it or not, which is a recognized liquor cocktail drink. And it talks about what can be blended with it. And I think they're sort of specific. Like, I think it says rum, whiskey, which could be any, bourbon, blended whiskey. That wouldn't matter. Or I think they say brandy. I think those are the three, though. I don't think it says anything about vodka or tequila. It's sort of specific, but it has to. But they were very specific about eggs. A certain percentage of egg that has to be included to be eggnog. A certain percentage. I guess that's probably something a regulation put in there to protect the egg lobby. These things are done for that reason. Like there's flavored malt beverages, like the Mike's Harder and the Cayman Jacks. They have to have a certain amount of hops. Why? They're not produced to be hoppy or have any hop bitterness, to protect the hop growers, you see. If you buy something that says Holiday Nog and the word egg is not on there, Holiday Nog, you can maybe presume it does not have eggs in it. Because they're not claiming to be eggnog. They just said they're nog. What's nog? Well, nog is something else, I guess, maybe. All right, but some of them are pretty good, like the Christian Brothers Holiday Nog from Heaven Hill now. Heaven Hill took over Christian Brothers production when the last monk retired in the 1980s, late 80s, and then the Christian Brothers order decided to get out of the brandy production business. A, because it was a lot of overhead, and B, no one apparently wanted to do it. Really, they had one man doing it for 50 years. So Heaven Hill is keeping it popular. So that Christian Brothers Nog, Holiday Nog, is part of that Christian Brothers line of very famous brandies. And obviously it contains Christian Brothers brandy in it. Okay, so the hood is not amazing. It's certainly very nice. I'll go with a B+, 8.9 out of 10. So we have an 8.5 out of 10 for the bourbon, the black bourbon, Tennessee bourbon. And we have 8.9 out of 10 B+ for the hood, HP hood. And so I think as a blended together concoction, then they will come out at an 8.7, a good product. So if you see it, buy it, try it. Most likely you're gonna like it. So laissez-les bon temps relais. Thanks for watching this video, and go to Massachusetts and take a dairy tour. A dairy. Yeah, dairy. That's what they call it, a dairy. They have dairies not too far north of here. Thank you.